Good morning, stamping friends. How are my friends today? I'm doing great, and I'm anxious to share with you as always. And in case you're new to my YouTube channel, my name is Lorri Heiling, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have been doing this for 17 years now, so I'm always happy to share with you, and I never grow tired of stamping and being creative in my little craft room here. Well, today I want to share a project with you that I think you're going to enjoy, so hold tight. And one more thing that's going on in the stamping world, for me anyway, is I'm headed to Vegas this week. On Thursday, I'll be joining many Stampin' Up! Friends, and I'm taking some of my team with me. We have a leadership event there, so I'm really anxious to connect with all those stampers out there who also will be attending. So I have a fun and busy week ahead, and it's just going to be a great girls getaway weekend. All right, let me turn my camera around, and we will get started with today's project. Today we're going to make a project using this cute little bundle called Little Monkey, and what I like about this is there's a punch. Now dies are nice, but punches are really nice because they're faster and they are a little bit more affordable. So I really enjoy when they have a coordinating set like this. So this is a stamp set that we used in my in-person class this month, and everyone really loved this one. I didn't get this one first round, but I've seen so many cute projects with it, so we're going to play with this one today. I'm going to start by taking a piece of basic white cardstock. This is actually the thick one, and that's used when I make bases of cards. It's a little bit thicker than our basic white. Now, this is a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock, and then I scored it in half at 5 1/2 inches, and then just fold on that score line, and always use your bone folder. And just go over that to make it a sharper crease here. Now the next thing we're going to do, you haven't probably seen this paper a lot, but this is a paper that's going to be in the holiday catalog. I showed it to you on my unboxing, but this is the flip side of one, and you know, it really does go well with our holiday products, but on the flip side is kind of a holly pattern in there. Now the name of this cardstock is Joy of Christmas, and once I saw this I thought, oh, I can use this with my monkey set because it doesn't necessarily look like Christmas paper when you don't see it amongst all the other Christmas papers. So what we're going to do is cut this to 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, which is the exact size of our the front of our card, and I'm just going to add some multi-purpose liquid glue to this. I love using this glue because, as you know, you can kind of move it around and before it sticks for good, so that's why I like using that. All right, there's the front of our card. Now the next thing we're going to do is grab probably the most used dies in my stash, and it's called Stylish Shapes, and you get squares and circles and banners, so really everything's covered in those shapes. I use them almost every day. So I just cut out, let me get my ruler so you know which size, because there's a few sizes in each shape. This is 2 3/4 square, and then that's garden green, and then this one is 2 3/8, and this is basic white. When you do layers for basic white, you don't need that thick cardstock. Just use your basic white, just the regular, because you get 40 sheets in a pack, and with this one you just get 24. So for layering, I like to use these. All right, we are going to stamp on this, and I'm going to grab my silicone mat because I don't want to get ink on my background here. So we're going to start by stamping that little branch here. And so I'm going to take my Memento black ink and the little branch and just ink this up. Now remember, when you use blends, you need to use Memento black because then the color or the ink won't bleed into your blends. So just ink it up there, and then they do not have a garden green blend, so that's why I'm so glad I still get the Stampin' Right markers. I use the blends most of the time, but there's a few colors that we don't have blends in, and garden green is one of them. So I'm just going to color this, and this is going to kind of blend with the colors that are going in that designer series paper. If you don't have green, you can use another blend, maybe a lighter one. And then the other, whoops, I missed a couple leaves here. And then I chose dark crumb cake to make the branch. And so just color that in. I'm a lefty. Not that it matters for coloring, but oh, I don't like my printing. And I don't know, I guess when I was little, my mom saw that I was going to be left-handed. She kept putting everything in my right hand, trying to convert me, but I was strong-willed as a baby. I wanted to be left-handed. All right, the next thing we're going to do is tackle those monkeys. And so The first one, I already stamped it beforehand because I had to fussy cut it and I didn't want to take up time on the video. So this is the one who's going to be hanging from the branch. And then we're going to do a second one, and I'll show you how to do that with this punch and this stamp. Now, I didn't want the face to be all the same color, so I'm going to show you how to do this lighter. So we are going to take Pecan Pie. This is kind of the replacement of soft suede. I love this paper. I've gone through several packs already because I use soft suede quite a bit, and I was a little bit sad when they discontinued that, but this one was a nice replacement. Now, when you use a punch that's especially an animal or a shape, not a shape, shapes are easy. It doesn't matter what way you go. But if it's like an image or something that's very unique and it has to go a certain way, I always like to get my paper ready and see how I have to stamp. Because when I did my class, a lot of people stamped vertical. And when there's a whole sheet like this, you know, like really long, sometimes it's hard to get it that way and you waste more paper. So I tend to go this way and slide it through that way. Okay, so now I know I want to stamp with the legs down, going up and down this way. So let me grab my stamp here, and we're going to go like this. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to do the faces like I was telling you about. You don't need a very big piece of cardstock for this. Just a 1-inch thick cardstock piece will work. And we're going to ink it up one more time. And this little monkey, the one that looks like this, is the only face that will fit the punch. Do you see how there's a little face punch down here? This is the only one it matches. So we'll do that one for sure. We're going to punch that one. And then we are going to take the swinging monkey and we're going to ink that up in Memento Black again. But really all we need is the face because, oh, look how dirty my blocks are. Does yours get like that? By the way, hand sanitizer will wipe this right off. So I need to do that after this. I can barely see through it. So we'll just stamp that, and all we're going for is that middle piece, and I will fussy cut that. All right, first let's punch this one out. So do you see how I'm going to line it up there? And then that way, you don't have to fussy cut that. All right, now this one we will fussy cut. And I guess you guys don't need to watch me cut. You know how to cut paper. All right, so here's our two faces, and now we're just going to glue these on. I forgot to punch this guy out. All right, this one makes a lot of confetti too when you're done. All right. Now, a lot of people, you might want to just use blends, but when I do a class and I have a lot of people coming and coloring, sometimes it's easier just to opt for the colored paper that you want. But you can do some really fancy shading if you use blends. Again, I would use the Pecan Pie color for this, but you can make your monkey whatever color you want. There we go. All right, now it's time to assemble. So I think first of all, we will put this on our card front. Let me move all this over. So we're going to put the garden green square right here. So let me grab my dimensionals. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to go to Vegas this weekend for a Stampin' Up! Little get together for leaders, and oh, I just love these. Last year at this time we went to New Orleans and we had such a fun time, and part of the fun was just because with COVID and that whole situation, we hadn't been in person for the longest time, and it was just the biggest reunion ever. So this year we're headed to Vegas, and luckily for us who live in Arizona, it's close enough that we can drive so we don't have to rent the car and everything. So that'll be really nice, and I'll get to meet up with teammates I don't get to see all the time, and it's just going to be really fun. And then I can't wait to share with you what we do and learn and things like that. All right, let's put the next layer on. You know me, I love my dimensionals, so we're going to pop this layer up as well. And I don't know, what about you guys? Are you done traveling for the year, or do you have other travel plans? You'll have to let me know. I love to travel, but for how much traveling I'm doing, sometimes it's just nice to be home as well. I'd like to be in my craft room a little bit more. Okay, what we're going to try to do with this little monkey is we are going to get up in this little curly part and just start snipping up in there so we can make his tail wrap around that branch, and I'll show you how we'll do that. So just go up a little bit higher and just go around that circle, and then we are going to trim it off just at the very tip here, the curly Q part, like snip it like that. All right, now the reason we're doing that is we're gonna make it look like, see how it looks like his tail is behind there? Like that. Isn't that cool? And that way, you know, I didn't want to trim out the branch and literally make it go around there. This way it's kind of like fake because it looks like it's wrong. Okay, let's put a couple dimensionals on the back of the little monkey, and we just have a couple more steps here and then it'll be done. It really doesn't take that long, especially when you're using designer series paper for the background. So let's line that up again. Just have him have that angle line up with the branch like that. And now the second monkey that we made, we're gonna put dimensionals on him too. And he's gonna be hanging from the other one. I think a couple of them on here. And then we're just gonna connect those two with a little bit of liquid glue. All right, so let's have him go a little bit kittywampus, and let's see, we're gonna make him go upside down as well, and he's gonna hang from the tail here like this. Okay, so place him there, and then, like I said, we want to connect these two. So just put a little dab of glue down here so they are connected. There we go. Just hold those together a little bit. All right, now the next thing we're gonna do is add a banana. A monkey has to have a banana, and I did cut a bunch of these out beforehand. And we're gonna take Daffodil Delight, and we're gonna take, oh, and by the way, I stamped this Memento Black ink on Lemon Lolly. This is a little bit lighter shade of yellow, and then see what happens when we color it dark Daffodil Delight. It turns one shade darker, or two or three, but it at least gives the yellow a little bit different color so you can see the difference. And then just put a little bit of glue on the back of here, and then we'll make this go in his hand like this, upside down again. All right, now we have one last thing. I think he needs a little sentiment here. So what I did was I took basic white, and I just chose one of the stamps, but this is one I did beforehand because I didn't want to take the time to die cut it. But again, this shape is out of Stylish Shapes in the same set as the squares. And then it's just one of the little banners, and just swinging by to say hi goes pretty good with this card. So we're just gonna add dimensionals on the bottom, and I did stamp that in Garden Green. And then we're just gonna place it right down here at the very bottom, like that. All right, there's our cute little card. Isn't that fun? Don't you think that DSP goes great? So when you get to get your hands on the product in the holiday catalog, don't forget that you can still be using this holiday paper for some of your everyday things. Well, like I always mention, I do have a Stampin' Up! Website, and if you put an order in and it's over $50 and you use the host code, which is right here, then that will qualify you for a free gift that I will send you from its Stampin' Up! Product. And also, I will send you a thank you card. That's my way of saying thank you so much for shopping with me. I have so many things going on. I have in-person classes. I have online card club, which the deadline is the 10th of every month. So if you don't live by me, you can still get in on the projects that I make. And I do Facebook Lives on Tuesday morning, so be sure and watch for those. And then I do retreats. I'm having a cozy craft retreat, which this year sold out in 30 minutes, but I'm also doing Creative Days at Sea in February of 2025. We are over halfway full. I know it's still a ways away, but just be sure and peek at your calendar and see if that's something that might interest you. I have a Facebook page for that, and that's even if you're just inquiring and want to ask questions or kind of check out what's going on there. You can join that page. I'll put the link on. And let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget also, my last little commercial here is it is Kits Month at Stampin' Up! And 30% off of all our kits. So you're going to want to take advantage of that. That goes through the end of August, so we don't have that much time left. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.